Hey, Sherry.
Hi guys. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Looking
Good
forward to
morning,
today.
everybody. We're going to kick it off right at 10 o'clock.
Awesome.
Hey Sherry, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I bet jealous after seeing all your golf pictures.
Yeah, exactly. They're all meandering around, filling in the room. So we'll let them do that. But
Yeah.
should be a great day. So I did finish. I don't know if you saw that. I
Okay,
went
cool.
ahead and enrolled and all that. So
Awesome.
I will introduce you today and while they're milling there. So we're early. We don't start usually till about, I'm talking quiet so they don't hear. We don't start till about 10:03, give everyone a chance to fill the room. So I'll bring you on and we'll just have some fun today.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you.
I know it's your first time to do this, but you're going to do great.
Yeah. I'm nervous. Just kidding.
Hey, meet my good friend Terry Jensen in Hawaii there. He's awesome.
Oh, nice.
We call him the Big Kahuna.
Oh, the big kahuna. I love it. I grew up in Hawaii. I went to junior high school over there too. It's awesome.
Oh, it's great. And there's Christy Painter. She's a legend. There she is waving at you. I don't know if you can see Christy.
Yes, I do. Hi.
We get the world's greatest team. This is going to be a lot of fun today. I built you up. It's going to be really fun. They cannot wait to hear you. That's Clark Broom on the left there. He's just a legendary superstar. He's put 25,000 people in Coliseums.
My gosh.
And then on the right was Steve Evans. He is a amazing professional entertainer and singer. And the rest of them don't have much talent at all, but no, just kidding. You can probably hear me. I'm totally joking with as far as everybody else. They're a great group. So, okay, let's all turn our mics off for a second, and then we'll get started. So we'll all turn off our screens. Everybody on Zoom, let's turn your screens off. And then I'll introduce Sherry. She can turn it on. So everybody on Zoom, if you'll just cut your screen off, and then I'll bring you up in about 3 minutes. So Ray, you might want to turn your screen off there. You just ghost over and just hit the little camera button, and you are good to go. She doesn't see it. Poor Ray. If you move your mouse on the screen, it should ghost up. It's okay if you can't figure it out. Don't worry about it. Hey, baby.
All right, good morning, everybody. I know Brent's on the phone. We got some housekeeping things to take care of really quick. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Everybody say hi to Brent and everybody online.
Hello, Brent.
So real quick, he's got a star speak. Oh, did I just unplug me? We're back. Brent's got a star speaker, but there's one thing I wanted to touch on because even my lovely wife, who's like on top of everything day in and day out, has forgotten to do this. Car ethics training. It has to be done by December 31st. If you don't do it, you are going to be wishing you did. Okay. So it's free. Check it out. Go to National Association of Realtors, the website, see if you need to do it if you haven't done it already. And it does take about 2 hours to complete. So yeah, it's easy. You just have to do it. Who here needs to do their car ethics training? So raise your hand. All right, we see one, maybe. So there's at least one, because you will not be able to practice real estate unless you have completed that training.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll double check just to make sure they got me in.
Brent needs to do it. Oh man. All right. Well, that's all I had. Brent, I know you got an action-packed day filled for us this last week.
I do. Hey, John, I just want to say congratulations on a new baby. I appreciate all you do for us. You always plan speakers and you run this team meeting. So Kathy and I just wanted to give you and Valerie $5,000 for Christmas to say thanks for all you do. So we're sending that money to you today. Merry Christmas, John. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. Right on, buddy. All right. So Merry Christmas, everybody. How's everyone doing today? You guys doing good? Right on. So I want you to bring a lot of energy. As a speaker, I feed off the audience. So I want you guys to go freaking nuts today. Just be really, how you show up is what you're going to get out of this, what you put into it. So you guys did good, but I think we could do better. Are you ready? How's everyone doing today? Yeah, unbelievable. I thought you guys much better. Okay. You went from an A- to an A+. I love it. Merry Christmas. So my speaker today is a woman who literally bootstrapped it from fail. I'll let her tell you her story, but she was literally failing at sales, like wasn't making it. And I'll let her tell you that, to where she's getting asked to speak on stage with Sir Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, 10X, John Maxwell, Grant Cardone, big, huge stages around the world. And so it's pretty exciting. And I'm going to let her tell her short story. I'm going to have everybody else here, including me, we're going to turn off our cameras so that we can all focus. So everybody who's watching on Zoom, if you could turn off your camera, can you turn off your camera? Cut. Oh, she's not hearing. Nope. She got no audio. That's hilarious. All right. So there we go. And I'm going to cut my camera too, but Sherry's going to rock your world. And she came up with something that has been adopted by Harvard. And I don't know too many people who have done this kind of thing. And she's a sweet, lovely, amazing person. So sit back, relax. We're going to close out 2021, our final Gove team meeting with Sherry Tree. And she's a rock star. Sherry, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Brent. And hi, everyone. It's so great to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to come out and join. Listen, I'm so pumped up with what you guys are doing with EXP. And Brent, it's funny that you have everybody turn off their cameras. Is that code for like, go do whatever you guys want and come back in an hour and pretend you were here? That's so funny. I've never had anybody do that, but maybe it makes you focus, which is a good thing. So I'm going to share with you over the next hour something that was a game changer for me. And I had the opportunity to, like Brent said, to share this all over the world with top sales teams in the world. And so when I got introduced to Brent, it was like an automatic love at first sight. Brent is amazing. And you guys have an incredible leader and an awesome opportunity with EXP. I want to give you such a competitive advantage that your competition doesn't even know what hit them. And And so let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started here. All right. There we go. So just like Brent said, my name is Sherry Tree. I run a company called Codebreaker Technologies, and I've had the chance to be able to share this all over the world with some of the greatest opportunities. Our clients are companies like Google. We're featured in articles like Forbes, brought this to Harvard University, even all the way to the United Nations. Because of this cool little secret, I essentially cracked a code in sales that changed everything. Took me from struggling to figure out how to make 100,000 a year to suddenly making millions. And that's what I want to share with you. Here's the precept of it. The concept is, according to the Challey Group, this is a study that was done. They said, I wonder if personality types matter in the sales process. They said only 18% of buyers will buy from a salesperson, you the realtor, who doesn't match the buyer's personality type, versus 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. So I am going to make this centered around personality types, except using a completely different twist than anything you've ever heard of before, including the DISC or the Myers-Briggs type indicator, or the color code, or any of those types of things. Just stay with me, because the code that I cracked was the code that applied this specifically in the sales process to flip these numbers so that you could attract 100% of your clients. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So who we are as a company, we're the world leader in personality coding technologies. And we have advanced the personality space light years into the future. We've developed cutting edge tools, training technologies. We built the world's first artificial intelligence that's powered by this concept. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. So I'm the author of the book, Why They Buy. I'm going to introduce you to the program called BANK, B-A-N-K. This is my interpretation of the 4 personality types, but with a very powerful twist that when applied to the sales process creates extraordinary results. During our session today, I'm going to unlock the secrets, the science, and the system that can supercharge your sales up to 300%. So when you see this 300%, a lot of people are like, yeah, not possible. Okay. But I'm going to show you how it actually becomes possible using science in the sales process. And by the way, this works not only when you're getting the listing or closing the sale of a home with your buyers, but it also works when you're recruiting other agents to EXP and so forth. Okay. Now, we actually went and had a study done. San Francisco State University said, hey, we want to test and measure the bank system to see if it's scientifically validated. And we want to see what the impact is in real estate for people who are real estate agents or realtors. Does this actually move the needle? And they came back and published a white paper for our company specifically for the real estate industry that said real estate agents using the bank system increased their listing sales up to 123% and their buyer sales up to 300%. So whatever your belief systems are, just have an open mind. That's the only way it works anyway. And I'm going to potentially rock your world. What I spend my entire adult life career is training top sales teams all over the world. And I teach them how to unlock the secret to ultra high performance. I've got great news. The best part about what I'm about to share with you is I'm going to show you how to make a lot more money, create a lot more impact, and do it in a lot less time. That's one of the best things that realtors who take our program get excited about, is not just the increase in revenues, but it's actually the increase in time, because most people that I know in real estate are like spinning their wheels, burning the candle 24/7, 365. They have like ADD. They're constantly on their phone, and it's almost hard to get them to pay attention because they're constantly sucked into this vortex of being in that responsive client world. I'm going to show you how to kind of stop the insanity, get your life back, and make a lot more money. So if you're up for that, and by the way, I'm going to have you interact with me on the chat box. I just want you to type the word yes in the chat box. For those of you that are on a live Zoom, type yes into the chat box. We're going to have some fun today. This is not going to be boring. I promise you that. They don't bring boring speakers on these stages. I want to introduce you to some of our clients just to give you an example. This is Average Joe. Joe got our program and he started using it in his real estate business. His income was up $100,000 in 12 months. I want you to meet Jane. Jane got our program, started using it. Her income was up $400,000 in her first 12 months. Just imagine what could become possible, okay? This is Jeannie Zierhofer. Her story is an interesting twist. She specifically lost a major deal that was going to pay her $72,000 in commission because she didn't use our technique in the sales process, completely lost the deal that she thought she had in the bag. This is Sarah Stevens, another realtor, sales income up $228,000 in 12 months. So I'm showing you these stories to show you what's possible before you potentially just toss it out and be like, yeah, I already know everything, okay? Robert Kiyosaki, I'm a huge fan of his. I'm a huge friend of his. He said the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. So as you got involved with EXP and you're building your business, you may not have started with EXP. You may have started with another real estate brokerage, another brand. But the bottom line is you were interested in real estate, but perhaps maybe you weren't interested in sales. Some people even have an allergic reaction to sales. Some people don't even think it's a clean word. They think it's a dirty word. But you guys have obviously come to the conclusion that if you don't sell, you're not going to make money, including in the EXP model, which might include selling the dream and the vision of why to join EXP with the recruiting model. Top people know how to sell, which is the word, replace it with the word influence. Influencing people to do something that is for their benefit, for their good, and creating the impact. The challenge that I found, however, is that most sales trainings, and I'm talking every sales training I have ever been to in the history of the planet that I've gone to, has been misleading and brainwashing people into believing one of the greatest lies ever told. And I want you to ask yourself if you've ever heard that sales is a numbers game. I want you to ask yourself if you've ever heard that in order to get more yeses, you've got to get more nos. And if you can answer that in your head, you've been brainwashed too, just like me. And in the beginning, I thought this was exactly how the sales world worked until I woke up one day and said, that's actually one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses. It's not rocket science, but it is personality science. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to transform your world of sales. I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm going to show you a possibility that might be new for you to consider, which is how to go for yes instead of go for no. I don't care who you are. You could be the most successful, most motivated person on the planet. I don't know one person who wakes up excited to go for no, not one. But I do know people, a lot of people who wake up excited to go for yes. And imagine what life could be like if you go for yes instead of go for no. So the secret that I want to reveal today is that sales is not a numbers game. Your real estate business is not a numbers game. It is a people game. If you choose to play the numbers game, you're playing Russian roulette, and that's a game designed to lose. If you play the people game, you're going to play the game designed to win. And so that transformed everything for me. So as I introduce you to this concept called bank, a twist on personality types. What is bank? If you're hearing about it for the first time, it's personality based, meaning it's rooted in the principles of the 4 personality types, but with a powerful twist that when applied to the sales process is designed to get the yes instead of the no. Bank is profit focused because we actually want you to make a lot more money. More money makes good people better. So you can do a quick little check-in with your own self and say, would I become a better human being? Would I do more good in the world if I had a lot more money? Next, bank is people-centered because that's the secret. You're doing transactions and building relationships with people, with humans. It's people who are buying homes. It's people who are selling homes. It's people who are listing homes. It's people who are considering joining EXP. And I'm going to teach you how to become the best in the world at building relationships with people. And of course, bank is also purpose-driven because we are living in a world where we want to make an impact. Our mission as a company is to connect and empower humanity. So we've built high-tech and high-touch tools, training, and technologies to be able to help the people that we train build better relationships with their clients and their personal relationships. So just want to give you a little backstory. Like Brent said, he kind of revealed, I sucked at sales in the beginning. I got so excited. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I knew I didn't want my W-2 job. So I took an all commission opportunity and I went for it. In my first year, I crushed it. I made $700. So I don't know if anybody can relate in their real estate career, but I was basically pathetic. And over a 5-year period, I studied every sales methodology I could get my hands on. I read the books, I listened to the audios, watched the videos, attended the conferences, hired the coaches. And I did improve. I got my income up to 72,000. Company said, great job, keep up the good work. But I didn't feel anything close to successful. And it was at this moment that I realized something's broken here. Right? I don't know if any of you have ever been frustrated with your real estate career, or just like you're hustling and you're grinding, but you're not seeing the results fill up your bank account. It was at this moment where I said to myself, something must be broken. I'm not sure whether it's me that's broken, like maybe I'm just not cut out for commission sales, or maybe perhaps it's the system that's broken. Well, the good news is I discovered it wasn't me, not you. It's actually the system that was programming people to fail by telling us that sales was a numbers game. As soon as I took a few steps back and figured out what was broken and figured out how to fix it, I essentially cracked the code with this bank concept. Using it in my next 12 months, my income skyrocketed to over $500,000, a 7x increase. Now, I want you to type 7x in the chat box. If you're on Zoom with me, type 7x in the chat box if you'd love to see your income in 2022 skyrocket 7 times. Brent Gove, imagine what your life would look like, dude, if your income 7x'd itself, right? And the coolest part is I went from 60 to 80 hours a week down to 20 to 30. And this is what I meant by my income went up and my time commitment went down. And this was where I actually felt like I was living la vida loca. This is where dreams start to come true. Next, what happened is as soon as I realized this system worked for me, I immediately began training it to my sales team. And as my sales team started implementing this, and I started as a sales manager making money on all of their performance, my income went over $1 million a year. By 33 years old, I was cash flowing more than $1 million a year. And what happened is they say the rest is history. People started asking me to come speak on all of their stages. I got published in magazines. Here I am in the cover of Success from Home magazine. And by the way, no, I'm not the lady in the red dress. I always say dreams come true. That one didn't work out for me. But I am the one in the black suit in the middle. It's highlighting my income here at 2.9 million and climbing. So I was like this prodigy that had cracked the code in sales, and everyone who was in sales, if they even touch commission, from financial advisors, insurance agents, people in real estate, like anyone, small business owners, entrepreneurs, if they could get their hands on this system, they went freaking nuts for it. And what happened is I started getting asked to come speak and teach and share this secret on the biggest stages and the biggest events all over the world, millionaires, billionaires, because of this. Harvard University brought me in, and a lot of other universities have brought me in to teach this secret at master's level classes, because I cracked the code that no one in the history of the world has ever cracked. Okay, just want that to sink in for a moment. All right. Now, like I said, San Francisco State started engaging with us saying, hey, we want to validate this. We want to see if this is even legit. Did you just take the DISC program and rename it something called Bank and basically use their stuff? And after doing all of their series of studies, they came back and published a white paper that said, not only is this system an original, there's no other system like it on the planet, but it actually, in fact, does what it says it's going to do. It can predict buying behavior. Matter of fact, they said this is the only methodology in the world scientifically validated to predict the buying behavior of your customer in less than 90 seconds. I want you to think about this. If you're selling real estate, if you're focused on the real estate piece of this at EXP, and you're going out there to get the listing or sell that home, what if you could predict exactly what makes the customer say yes or accept the offer or do the listing with you in less than 90 seconds? And if you're recruiting people to the EXP business model, which is freaking unbelievable. Imagine if you knew exactly what to say to them to get a yes and have them come join your team, just like Brent did, in less than 90 seconds, knowing that. Now I'm going to show everyone that you can get my book. It's available on Amazon. I'll give you a special link today. I've got a copy for everyone. I'm going to show you how to get this. Okay. But the book is just the beginning. So Einstein says any fool can complicate things, but it takes a genius to simplify it. Guys, I didn't go to Harvard, but I taught at Harvard because I figured out a genius way to get yeses instead of nos and to do it without any manipulation at all. And how I discovered it was by figuring out, it's not rocket science, but it is personality science. So let me introduce you to part 2 of today's webinar, which is the science. The reason this works every single time is because we base the techniques in science. When people say is selling an art or a science, some are going to say art, some are going to say science. I'm going to say it's both, but it's only an art if you know the science. So for those that are out there crushing it like Brent actually knows the science of bank. The challenge is when most people go to the top producers and say, how are you doing that? They don't know how they do it. They just know that they do it. So what I basically did was I broke it down to a paint by numbers grid of here's exactly how top producers are using the science. And here's now the ability to duplicate it, clone it, transfer it, and scale it across your entire sales organization. Could you imagine, for those of you that are recruiting agents to EXP, if you could transfer these skill sets and if you could start tripling the outcomes of every agent on your team? Goodbye, everyone else. The world will be run by EXP. So the personality science that it's based on is this personality science. I did not invent it. It actually dates back thousands of years to a guy named Hippocrates, known as the father of medicine. He basically figured out that he could divide the entire human race into 4 different groups, and he could treat them with medicine differently based on this science. He called it the theory of the 4 temperaments. When you fast forward to today's modern world, there's been all types of personality assessments that have been born and brought to the market so that we humans could take an assessment and figure out which one we are, right? Millions of people have taken one of those assessments. Some of the more popular ones you see here on the screen, like DISC, MBTI, color code, and so forth, okay? Now, I was just like you, and I was taking these personality assessments. But what started off as interesting or fascinating with what I learned about myself turned into frustration when I realized not one single one of these assessments ever made me more money. Not one of them ever helped me close more sales or recruit more people. And I remember thinking, like, what's the point of these assessments if it doesn't impact the bottom line? Like, no offense, I'm sick and tired of being broke, okay? And that's when I started to ask questions. And the question I asked, which was a pivotal question, the reason I'm even here today, is because I said, show me the assessment that can tell me not who I am, but who my buyer is. And show me the assessment that can tell me not based in psychology, but one based in biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, the science of buying behavior. Friends, it did not exist. So I decided I was going to build my own version as an experiment. And I called my 4 personality types BANK, B-A-N-K, blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge. And just like I said, this was not based in psychology. This was the world's first based in biology, the science of buying behavior. In other words, the bank system could help me predict in less than 90 seconds exactly what makes my customers say yes versus no. I knew exactly what turned them on and turned them off. And when you have husbands and wives and business partners that are making deals and doing transactions together, a lot of times they're with their opposite. So I had to figure out how to turn both of them on without turning one of them off in order to unlock the yes instead of the no. And it totally worked, okay? So how it works is we teach you how to crack the personality code of your buyer or the person that you're attempting to recruit and take it to the bank, meaning your bank account. Now on the screen is a little device called a cryptex. Cryptex is a combination of 2 words, cryptology, which is the science of locking up secret information, and codex, which is the written script or scroll that's locked inside the device with the secret message on it. This was made famous in the movie, The Da Vinci Code. Okay, what was locked inside this device, if you could successfully crack the code and get it to open up, is you'd access this tiny little piece of paper. And what was written on that piece of paper revealed the secret to the Holy Grail. The whole plot of the movie is, what is the secret to the Holy Grail? There's only one way to find out. You had to crack the code. The challenge is this little device was booby-trapped. Think of it like a ticking time bomb, because if you failed to crack the code correctly, instead you'd crack a tiny little vial of vinegar the scroll was wrapped around. The vinegar would leak out, dissolve all the writing on the scroll, leaving you with nothing. You guessed it, okay? So the whole goal was to figure out how to crack the code to get access to that, all right? Now, the analogy that I want you to use with me today is I want you to imagine that every single client that you're attempting to win with your EXP business, or every potential recruit that you're attempting to pull into EXP to be on your team, has an invisible cryptex. And I want you to imagine if what was written inside on that scroll was exactly what to say to them to get the yes instead of the no, to get the listing, to close the deal, accept the offer, or join the team. Ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly would you want to crack that code? And I want you to type it in the chat box. If you don't have a chat box and you're taking notes, write it on your paper. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad would you want to crack that code? And if you're sitting there saying it's a 10, all right, I've got good news for you. I'm going to teach you how to crack the code, all right? So Tony Robbins says, let your prospect determine your presentation. And I said, well, wait a minute. If there's 4 different types of buyers, should I have 4 different approaches on the way to sell them or make my offer, make my pitch, whatever it is, right? And the answer is, yeah, duh, obviously. And yet how many of us have a different presentation? How many presentations do most of us have? It's 1. And you deliver your same pitch, your same style every single time. And unfortunately, this is the most common mistake that you're probably making. You have no idea the amount of money that you're leaving on the table. Kind of like what I showed with the first few realtors that I showed earlier. So here's how this works. Based in personality science, your buyer is one of those 4 personality types, all right, in their dominant position. So whichever one you are, like in this case, the red one, if you happen to go talk to a buyer or an agent that you're trying to recruit who's your matching personality type, chances are it's going to be bada bing, bada boom, and you close the sale, you recruit that person. It was love at first sight, right? Because you had a match. That's the concept of people will buy from you when they know you, like you, and trust you. What do you think creates that? It's the match of the personality style. But then it occurred to me and it said, wait a minute, if that's who I am and I approach the other 3 personality type clients my same normal way, then chances are I'm going to get a no 3 out of 4 times. What that meant to me mathematically is I was leaving up to 75% of the business on the table by simply delivering the wrong communication style to my customer, okay? Now, I want to do an example because people ask me all the time, Sherry, what does your bank program cost? All right, so we're going to do a quick little example. I want you to take your last year's income, this current year, since we're at the end of the year, take your current year's income, right? 2021, what was your income? All right, so you can look at all of the commissions that you've earned from selling the homes, from recruiting people, the overrides, your shares, everything. Look at all that income. All right, so write down that number. Think of that number, or write down the number. And now I want you to triple it, multiply it times 3. So if you made $100,000, triple it to 300,000. If you made $250,000, triple it to $750,000. If you made $1 million, triple it to 3 million. If you're like Brent and you made 10 million, triple it to 30 million, okay? Whatever your triple number is, that is the amount of money you potentially lost this year not using this science. And I just want that to sink in for a minute. Brent, you still with me? Or are you off golfing?
Yes, no, I'm here. Just took me a while.
I caught you. All right. So Brent, what do you think would happen to your EXP business if everyone could claim that triple number and bring it in-house?
Oh man, everybody be real happy, and including me. I'd finally be happy.
I have found, yes, it's tough living on 10 million a year, but you know, all right. So guys, just imagine what could become possible. And this was the theory that I banked on as I built this system, that this could be true for me. And what happened was I started finding ways that I could talk to my client correctly 100% of the time, like we talked about. And my income went way beyond 300%. When you hear Grant Cardone talk about 10%, or I mean a 10X, you know, this took me way beyond 10X. And it helped me collapse time, all right, the speed of the sales cycle. So I want to just give you a quick demonstration how bank works. if you picture your 4 different types of personalities, picture this as the buyers of the home, the listing clients that you're going after, or the new agents that you're trying to bring into EXP. Picture that each one of them has a different personality type, B, A, and K. And I'm going to use an example of languages to demonstrate how this works. All right. Let's say that you are the blue block right there where it says B, and you speak English. When you go talk to another agent or the listing or selling, and they speak English, chances are you're going to get a yes. You're going to recruit that agent. You're going to close that deal. Perfect. That's your baseline. That's what you're already doing without our system. But what about when you meet that other personality type, the red block in this case that has the A on it? Let's say they don't speak English. Let's pretend they speak French. Okay. If you deliver your pitch to them in English and they only speak French, my question to you is, are you going to close the sale? Are you going to recruit them to EXP? The answer is quite obviously, no, you're not, right? But what if you had the ability to recognize this person doesn't speak English, they speak French? And what if you could actually convert your messaging into French and you say, bonjour, je m'appelle Chérie, j'ai habité en France pour 3 ans quand j'étais petite, enchantée. Now, if you speak French, you know exactly what I said, and boom, there's a special connection that's formed between me and you because I'm speaking your language. For those of you that don't speak French, how many of you thought it sounded cool, right? You're like, I'm in the mood for a croissant right now. But how many times do you think you're speaking exactly what someone needs to hear with your EXP business? They're maybe even nodding their head and smiling, but then they don't list with you. They don't buy a home from you. They don't join you on your team. And you're like, what did I do wrong? You only did one thing wrong. You spoke the wrong code to them, the wrong language. So in this case, I'm now giving you the chance to close and enroll 2 out of 2 instead of 1 out of 2. So I've increased your closing rate by 100%. Now let's talk about the third personality type. They don't speak English. They don't speak French. That yellow block, let's say they speak Romanian. All you got to do is speak Romanian and you could recruit the likes of Brent Gove to your team. Could you imagine what that would be like? All you have to do is speak Romanian. So what our system does is it reveals, don't speak French, don't speak English to Brent, speak Romanian. And it might sound like this. Bună ziua, mă numesc Sherry, am fost misionară pentru biserica mea. Am locuit acolo pentru un an jumate. Îmi pare bine. Now, if you spoke Romanian, you're like, what? You're speaking my language, and boom, you have a connection, and voila, you've closed the deal, you've recruited Brent onto your team, and the rest is history. Your closing rate, your ability to close went up another 100%. You're at now 200%. You can close 3 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3. Now let's talk about that fourth and final personality type. They're so different from everyone else. They don't speak English, French, Romanian. They speak, how about Korean? K for Korean. You're like, oh, I don't even like spicy food. But what if this was the big one? What if, right? Like recruiting Brent Gove. What if it's closing that multi-million-dollar home? What if, whatever that scenario is, all you had to do was speak Korean? You say, no problem. 안녕하세요. 나는 한국말 조금 바뀌었대요. There's an example of speaking 4 languages to 4 different people. What bank essentially does is it's not sales manipulation tactics. It's actually having the courtesy, the decency, the respect, and the authenticity to actually know who your customer is and speak their language. It's the platinum rule. Do unto others as they would have done unto themselves. So ignorance and arrogance is forcing others to listen to you and your code. Respect is about speaking to them in their code. The bank system is going to teach you exactly how to do that. And the 300% concept becomes a natural automatic thing that begins happening as you begin to implement these techniques. So then what I did was I said, all right, how do we make this duplicatable? How do we make it clonable? How do I transfer this skill set from me to you? Because I had to package it into a system. System is an acronym: save yourself time, energy, and money, right? So this is where I built the bank system. I'm going to give you a quick little orientation of the 4 personality types so that you can meet who the blueprint, who the action, who the nurturing, and who the knowledge person is. And then I'm going to show you the tools, the training, and the technologies that we built. And I'm going to make a special offer to you guys. Brent and I discussed this, and he's like, first of all, I want to be your first client. I want to be the first person here at EXP to bring this in. I'm going to be part of it. Secondly, I want you to introduce this to our inner circle because I'm going to do a pilot program with our top agents who want to learn the bank system. So for those of you that say, hey, I want to be part of it. And if you're in the chat box, I want you to type the word bank. If you're like, I want to be part of the pilot program with Brent. Okay, type the word bank. And we are going to train you guys to become so freaking unbelievably amazing with people that getting a yes is like the automatic thing to do. All right. Making your life way happier and easier. Trust me, especially around the holidays, we could all use less stress and more money.
Sherry,
So
can we pause real second? And
Yeah, let's
I
pause.
want to see in the room, and everybody, can you just raise your hand if you're interested in piloting the bank
I'm going to
program?
stop here real quick. Oh, you guys are awesome. See, Brent warned me that you guys were amazing. So that proves it. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll just shut up and just keep going because we're going to have some fun together. I'm going to personally put you guys through this entire pilot program. It's what leads up to the big conference in Mexico in March. Like, we're going to have a really good time together. So let me just jump back in and continue down the rabbit hole. All right. So let me give you a quick introduction. And if you've learned any other personality typing system, I'm just going to ask for you to like do a Men in Black moment and blank slate yourself because the colors do not mean the same thing in our system. All right. The B stands for blueprint. I use the color blue because this person is cold to approach. They're not super warm and friendly. They're cold and even a little bit icy and edgy. If you approach them the wrong way, you're going to totally lose the deal, right? They're what I would call conservative inside the box. And you see a little box on the left-hand side of the B, okay? So when you look at this person, what I realized is they were making buying decisions. Their yes or no was determined off of an invisible set of values. And to this day, I've never been on one appointment where someone gives me a published list of their values and tells me exactly how to sell them. Like, it's never happened. But here's what they value: stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. You can see how conservative this person is. If you say, hey, we have a brand new real estate model, it's completely in the cloud, there are no offices. As a matter of fact, we're going to take you into a cyber reality to be able to do business. They're going to be like, what? The French toast? Hell no, right? And they're going to stay with their current brokerage because that's their tradition. They work for Century 21 or Remax or any of those other programs because they're set in their ways, all right? Same thing with the clients. This person does everything they can to avoid risk. And so by knowing this, we're going to teach you in the pilot program, what are all the strategies, the triggers that create a yes, and the tripwires that create the no for your blueprint clients. All right. So we're going to take you through that. The A is action, right? You can probably tell my bank code starts with action. I speak 1,000,000 miles an hour. My hair's on fire. I use the color red because this person's like a red hot firecracker. They only have one speed in life, you know, and that's like the red RPM fast line. And they want VIP red color carpet. All right. That's the color red for action. This is your mover, shaker, millionaire maker, hustler, make big things happen. Sky's the limit. They don't care about commission models because they want to make millions. They don't want a job. No way. So they're totally outside the box. Well, when you realize like what makes a person like that is they have a completely different set of values. They value freedom. No one's ever going to tell me what to do. Flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, having fun, and they care all about their image from head to toe. It's all for show. With blueprints, I've had people lose a deal with a blueprint just by being 10 minutes late to the appointment. Likewise, I've had people lose action clients and didn't close the deal because of the car they drove or the shoes they wore or the pen they used to ink the deal. These might seem trivial, except to the code, it's everything. If you don't speak their code, which we will reveal, then you're not going to get the deal. And again, you might be scratching your head. It might even be the perfect price and they still don't want it from you. Okay. The N is nurturing. This is the warm, fuzzy, friendly one. I use yellow because they're warm like sunshine. They're sweet like honey. And they've got a heart of gold. They're neither inside or outside the box. You can see they recycle the box, or they'll use the box to go put cans of food in it and give it to the homeless, or to put toys in it for Toys for Tots, right? They're going to use that box to recycle it. Well, the nurturing personality type has a different set of values. You must completely speak to them and approach them in a totally different way. They value relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. This person cares more about making a difference than they do about making a dollar. So your approach has to fundamentally change. The things you talk about, the way you talk about it, the tone that you use. If you want to study up on what a nurturing feels like, watch the Hallmark channel. Like those movies are filled with nurturing people, okay? And these buyers, here's the thing, don't underestimate them. I've heard them say to my ears, the reason they didn't buy or list from that agent was because they were a wolf in sheep's clothing. You see, nurturing people make their buying decisions from their intuition. And sometimes you can say things or do things that make the hair raise up on the back of their necks. And that can work for you or against you. But these are very powerful people, highly connected, and your best referral sources, because they have something called relationship currency. Who they're connected to is worth its weight in gold for you and your business. Okay, and that's the nurturing person. Now, the last person is the knowledge personality type. All right, I use the color green because this person loves data, facts, science, numbers so much they could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I think of Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Their little logo is green. Or in the movie The Matrix, the computer code that follows across the screen is green. All right, they're the ones that engineer the box. Well, again, when you're approaching them, whether you're selling the property, listing the property, or recruiting them to your team, they're looking for completely different sets of information. They want to learn. They value intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competency, accuracy, and the big picture. You better know exactly what you're talking about. The reasons knowledge people won't buy from you or join you on your team is because you're too wet behind the ears. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand the compensation plan. You don't know how the stock works, etc. Okay. Or in real estate, you don't know the numbers, etc. So the knowledge personality type is your toughest buyer most of the time, right? How many of you have ever had someone get stuck in analysis paralysis and drive you nuts with questions and stalling forever because it takes them forever to make a buying decision? But I'm going to show you how using bank, we have literally with our system been able to create a one-call close, even with the knowledge personality types where you have one presentation and boom, you close and sign the deal. All right. But you have to implement the techniques and strategies that are based in this science in order to make that happen. And that's what collapses time. I meet top agents. I met a guy who's like, hey, why should I buy your program? I'm already closing 80%. And I'm like, awesome. High five. Great job. And he looked at me a little perplexed because he thought I was going to pitch him on it. And I said, well, it depends on what the other 20% is worth. And I smiled at him and he's like, dang it. And he bought everything we had to sell. 6 months later, he calls me up and says, I want you to speak at my conference. And I said, I guess it worked. He's like, not only did it work, first of all, my closing rate went to 90%, but that's not what impressed me the most. What impressed me the most is that my closing time, my sales cycle got cut in half. I could get to yes in 50% of the time that it used to take me before. And that's an example of bank can make you time and money. Okay. So let's kind of pull this to a conclusion and then we'll tell you guys more about the pilot program and what we're up to. At the end of the day, every single person in the world, your clients included, have a bank code. They're not just they're not just one of the four, they're a combination of all four. And that's what I call their bank code. Think of a bank code like a PIN code. Okay, if you were to take out your debit card and go put it into the ATM machine, it would ask you for a 4-digit PIN code if you want money to come out, right? Well, your customer has the exact same concept. They have a 4-digit bank code. And if you can communicate to them in their 4-digit sequence, automatically what comes out is a yes, okay? An agreement, a signed contract, or they're going to move themselves and their team over to your book of business, okay? So what I started asking myself as I was building this is how many different bank code combinations are there? And I found out there's actually 24 different combinations. Well, the bad news for this was that meant I had a 1 in 24 chance of saying the right message to that person, and you might only get one shot to deliver it. And that's roughly a 4% chance. Okay. Those are not good odds. I was looking for the version of Indiana Jones. Remember that scene where there's like that guy with the sword and he's like, and he's getting ready to kill Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones is like, why is everybody stressed? And he pulls out a gun and shoots the guy. So I wanted a way that I could be accurate with cracking my client's bank code and getting it right 100% of the time and being able to do it in less than 90 seconds. Okay. So I want you to type yes in the chat box, or yes in your paper, or yes in your mind. If you're like, show me how to crack someone's code in less than 90 seconds, I'm in. Okay. All right. Now remember what I said in the beginning with Einstein, the genius is in the simplicity. And this is where you may start to be blown away. All right. Because I built a way that I could crack someone's code and get it right in less than 90 seconds. And here's what I came up with. The only way that I could do it and get it right 100% of the time was to take the guessing out of it. Most people say, hey, how are you going to crack someone's code? You got to listen. You got to ask questions. You got to pay attention to their body behavior. Those are all great sales tactics, but none of them are going to yield you 100% accuracy. The only way to do it, some of you may already guess it, is to ask the client, what is your bank code? So I had to come up with a way that I could ask the client, what's your bank code? And so I did. And I built a little set of 4 cards. And I would literally hand my client, and here's what I would say. Okay, Brent, if you were my client, I'd say, Brent, before we go any further, I just want to ask you to do me a favor. Will you take a look at these 4 cards? I want you to sort them in order. All right. Put the one that's most like you and most important to you on top, down the least like you, least important to you on the bottom. This is going to help me serve you better and save us both some time. Once I said that, and guys, honestly, I didn't know if it would work. I didn't know if people would think I'm crazy freak show, punch me in the face, throw the cards in my neck. I honestly didn't know. But every single time, 100% of the time I handed these to the client, they did the exercise. And in less than 90 seconds, they'd hand it back to me with their exact bank code revealed. And I was like, is it seriously this easy? Like, wow. And I began to teach myself what to say differently to that person based on this sequence. Okay. I'm going to explain real quick why this science works. The first thing is, number one reason they do it is curiosity, right? You hand them a set of 4 cards and automatically their hand's going to take it like a 2-year-old handing them a toy or a piece of candy. The second reason is because on the top of the card is the word values. And they care, you know, the topic is about them, not you. The third reason they do it is because I actually spoke all 4 codes in asking them to do this, just like me speaking 4 languages. And I'm going to deconstruct it so you can see, like the Wizard of Oz, the science behind what I just did. When I hand Brent the set of 4 cards and I say, I want you to take a look at these cards, I'm talking to the knowledge part of K, of Brent, who's the K, who wants the information, the data. He wants to read this data. Okay. I then say, Brent, I want you to sort it in order, top to bottom, most like you to least like you. I'm talking to the blueprint who wants the rules, the process, the instructions. I then said, Brent, this is going to help me serve you better. Or you might say, this is going to help me understand you better or get to know you better. I'm not talking to the nurturing part of Brent that wants a connection and a relationship with me. And then I end it with, and save us both some time, I'm now talking to the action part of Brent, where he's like, hurry up, chop, chop, get to the bottom line, time is money. Okay. So in one simple request, I spoke all 4 codes. And we are going to teach you how to do that intentionally every time you communicate with a client. People are like, Sherry, do you really use these cards, or is this just like a little teaching technique? I'm like, no, I actually use them on every appointment with every client. Okay. And I've had story after story after story of people and real estate where they closed the sale and they were going up against multiple offers or multiple agents trying to get the listing. And the client revealed to them the reason they were chosen was they were the one who did this exercise and actually cared about the values of the customer. Okay. I'm going to do more training on it as we go, but this is the principle. Now, what happened as we were in the 21st century is there started to be technology and challenges. You were talking to people that were across a digital screen. People in the old days were starting to hold up these cards on their Skype sessions saying, tell me when you're done reading this one, Brent. Tell me when you're done reading this one, Brent. And this is where our company said, you know what if we could actually build the technology? to crack someone's code online. And so we did. We built a technology called Bank Pass. Now, what's cool about this is Bank Pass is a subscription product, all right? And you can send to your clients a link that is customized to you, and you can invite them to crack their code. And I'll show you the incentive, the what's in it for them to do it. So you have a link, you send it to them, invite them to crack their code. And by the way, we set up this link. If I could get one of our team, Amanda or Dahlia, someone who's on here, to post this in the chat box, just swipe it and copy it or write it down, because I'm going to let you guys go take the assessment for free and see how this works. my.bankcode.com/exp. This link allows you to go crack your code. What you're going to do is drag and drop those 4 images into a sequence, okay, of whatever your bank code is. And by the way, there's no right or wrong. When you're done, you're going to fill in your name, phone number, email, and our system's automatically going to send you a bank code report. This is normally a $99 retail product, like a DISC assessment is getting this report. The cool thing is DISC takes anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes to complete. Ours takes less than 90 seconds, okay? You get a report all about yourself. Now imagine if you sent this to your client, they get a report all about themselves. But this is not why we built it. Friends, I didn't want to be in the assessment business. I'm not here to sell DISC assessments, for example, or bank assessments. I'm here because I train top sales teams. And instead, what we do is every single time your client cracks their code, we generate an equal matching sales report about your customer, about your client, about your potential recruit that you want to have an appointment with to recruit them to the agency. And you get the sales report that says, hey, congratulations, you just cracked the code of so-and-so. Here's their name, phone number, email that they're willing to share. Here's their bank code. And here's the top tips of how to communicate, negotiate, and close the sale. Good luck on your appointment. Take it to the bank. I want you to type the word bank in the chat box. If you would love the equivalent of me whispering in your ear on every single sales call or recruiting call you have, exactly what to say to that client to get a yes instead of a no, type the word bank into the chat box. Because this report is exactly the same thing as me riding shotgun with you on every single appointment. I'm going to tell you what to do, what not to do. Say this, don't say this, okay? And that's how these reports are built. Now, we've cracked hundreds of thousands of codes so far. That's people love doing this. And top realtors are using this to generate leads on top of it. If you have certain demographics of people that you want to go crack their code, they're inviting them, they're putting this up on social media, offering a free personality assessment and capturing that lead data into the database that you'll have access to. So this is a technology called Bank. I've got more technologies that I don't have time to go into. For those of you that do the pilot program with us, I'm going to reveal to you our AI, our artificial intelligence called Codebreaker AI. I'm going to show you how you can actually crack someone's code in nanoseconds. They send you an email, a text message, a social media post. You can literally run it through our AI, and in 1 to 2 seconds, it'll output their bank code and exactly how to engage them. We also partnered with LinkedIn. You can pull up any LinkedIn profile, click our button of AI that you install, and it will read their entire LinkedIn profile and generate their bank code and how to engage them in nanoseconds. So now if you're going to do an outbound phone call to recruit, whether you're trying to get the listing, sell the home, or recruit that agent to your team, do your recon before you have the call and get that bank code. Then follow our advice on exactly what to say to them so that you say the things that get the yes instead of the no. When Les Brown got his hands on Bank, he's like, Sherry, this is a game changer. I said, why? Tell me more, Les. He said, Sherry, I speak all over the world in stadiums full of 80,000 people at a time. I've seen every sales training sold under the sun. I have never seen one as powerful as Bank. He said, this system will, number one, strengthen your confidence. Imagine you or the team that you're training and recruiting over to EXP being more confident because the fear of rejection has completely gone to the wayside. Number two, expand your selling skills. Even if you're taking Grant Cardone's 10X training and learning how to sell like a ninja, this is going to make you 3 times more effective because it's not about the numbers and it's not about selling tactics. It's about understanding the personality profile and exactly what to say to unlock the yes versus the no. And Bank is going to dramatically increase your income. You know, it's kind of a fun pun on words. that you use bank to make bank, okay? So what we've put together and working with Brent is we wanted to put together a pilot program for you guys over at EXP. The reason I even got introduced to Brent is because my very good friend and longtime client of more than 12 years, maybe even 16 years, is Amanda Williams, who's on this call right now. And she's part of EXP. She's in the top 0.1% over there with you guys. And she saw me make millions of dollars, approached me and said, what's your secret? I taught her the bank system. She's like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. I want Brent to know about this for EXP. All right. She's a recruiting machine as well. And I acknowledge you, Amanda. Thank you for the introduction. So when I got to talk about Brent and meet Brent, and of course, he probably gets pitched everything all the time. We had an amazing connection from the very beginning. And I'm just disappointed that he didn't invite me golfing, but we'll figure that out, right, Brent, when we're in Mexico. I saw. So we wanted to do something special for you guys. And he said, Sherry, I don't know what your schedule is like, but will you come on to the last call that I'm hosting for the year and put together a pilot program for my group so that we can actually put our top agents through this training heading into Mexico. And that way we can actually get the feedback from this group on the validity of this system for our ecosystem. And I said, yes, I'm going to do it. So I did clear my schedule today. I'm happy to be here. Let me show you guys what we put together. We built a program called Codebreaker Accelerator. And this is specifically for you here in real estate at EXP. We're going to take you through 4 specific sessions with me live. All right, all virtually. And I'm going to take you through them. Session number 1 is going to be designed on revenue, how to get to yes faster and close more sales in less time. So this is about getting the listing. This is about selling the home and being able to be the top of your game, closing deals and getting those yeses, generating revenue for your real estate business. Session 2 is recruiting. Listen, I love business models. I'm a huge fan of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. EXP, you guys are blowing it up with your financial model of selling and recruiting. This is awesome. It's putting your real estate on steroids. How do you go recruit the best agents in the world and bring them to your EXP team? Exactly like Brent did and does, so that you're building your winning team and you get people to say yes versus no. I was talking to a realtor the other day, not with EXP, and they're like, I'm getting pitched like 10 times a week on why to come join EXP. Guys, you need to know how to hit the bullseye when you have that shot, okay? And get that yes instead of a no and a rejection, okay? Session number 3 is referrals, the lifeblood of your business, how to get more referrals from your raving clients. Because if you get into that referral side, you're going to be able to do way less cold marketing and way more closing and making money. We're going to show you the secret to referrals, because there is a secret to unlock to getting the referrals and having them continue to come. And session number 4, which is also one of my favorites, is reciprocity. How do you access the top influencers to let your network drive your net worth? Okay. This takes it from the referral concept to actually having strategic partnerships and alignments that feed your business nonstop. And I'm going to show you there are secrets to getting access to influencers. If someone is an influencer, they are almost untouchable. Okay. They're almost not recruitable unless, like David and Goliath, you know exactly where to nail it and get the bullseye, right? This is what we're going to take you through each one of these sessions through the lens of banks, specifically for your real estate business at EXP. I want to introduce you real fast before I give you the offer and the special that we're going to do. This is Jane. You saw her earlier. Her first year income up 400,000 in real estate. Just want you to hear her story because she went through our training, and this is an example of what happens.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jane Johnston. I'm a realtor from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. I've been in real estate since 2006, and I heard Sherry speak about the bank system in 2015. It made total sense to me because I realized I could, 1, serve my clients better, 2, get more yeses instead of nos, and 3, not leave money on the table for my clients or myself. That year, I took the bank system and I started implementing all the techniques and training into my business. And I increased my income and that of my client success from 35 transactions to 67 transactions in 1 year, and my income increased over $400,000. Last year, I took the bank iOS coaching program, and I also increased my income again. In fact, I set a goal to reach over $1 million, and I did it. I achieved extraordinary results as a result of following this program, getting accountability, and listening to the coaches and implementing the strategy in my business. So I welcome you, if you want, to try the system out and experience your own success.
So that's Jane Johnston, and we're so proud of her. You know, when I met her, she was at $250,000. Now she's over $1 million a year. She uses bank in every single transaction. So our Codebreaker Accelerator is basically a $1,000 program, $999.95. That's going to take you through all of these sessions live with me. Okay. What I want you thinking about is ROI. The best way to make a decision on whether or not you want to join the pilot program is, look, if I can help you make an extra $1,000, and most of you are averaging a lot more than that per transaction, this system is paid for years in advance if we can just help you get one extra deal under your belt. Okay. I'm going to do something special. And I told Brent I would do this. It's the year end and we're going to have some fun. So we're going to start the pilot program January 13th. We're going to do it every other week. We're going to do it live. We're going to do it immediately following this call with Brent. So as soon as you have the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. call, at 11 a.m. starts our pilot program for those of you that are a part of it. And we're going to do that every other week heading into the Mexico event. Okay. We will record the calls in case you miss it, but I'm going to challenge you to make it live. There's just nothing like being live than watching a recording. Okay. And that way we can interact, answer questions, etc. You're also going to get the playbooks and script books on what to say specific for each session that we do. All right. Here's the special that I'm going to do for Brent and your team. Brent is $499.95. And this is only for those of you that sign up right now for the pilot program. The normal program, if we offer it in the future, is going to be $1,000. We're going to do it half price for you guys. And I'm going to do a few extra special little things. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you what I call a fast action bonus. For those of you that know how to make a decision, you're like, I'm in, I was already sold way before you ever even got to this point. Is we're going to give you our Kickstarter program. This is our getting started. It gives you a couple of our masterclass recordings, bank for sales, bank for personal relationships. It does go into dating, parenting, marriage, because behind every professional is a personal life. And some of you might want to optimize those personal lives. We're also going to give you our advanced assessment. It's a $435 program. I'm going to give it to you as a bonus. Second thing I'm going to do is our tool technology package is a monthly subscription. We have the $29, $59, and $99 a month plan. The $99 is our most popular. It includes Bank Pass, unlimited assessments where you can crack your code like the 4-card drop. Okay, you're going to get access to our Codebreaker AI and LinkedIn Chrome extension, and you get to unlock the Bank Vault that has all of our online courses and training systems built in there for you on a number of different topics to help you build a better book of business and make more money. I'm going to give you access to the entire $99 subscription for 30 days at no cost. Okay, so we're going to build it into that price at $499. After that, it's $99 a month unless you cancel. We have a 92% retention rate because the tools make you money. All right. The other thing I'm going to do as a bonus is we wanted to help our clients be able to live the bank code in their everyday life. And so we built a subscription model called Bank Box. But instead of a physical box coming to your doorstep every month, like your Raiser of the Month Club, we do it digitally on different topics. For example, the 5 love languages we did through the lens of bank. Or social media. What can you post in social media that's different for different bank codes, or LinkedIn strategies, etc. We built 12 different modules of this. It's a $2,000+ program, and we're going to give it to you also as a bonus. Okay. So what I'm going to do is you make the decision on ROI. I want you to type bank in the chat box if you're like, I'm in. Okay. Type bank in the chat box if you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to join with Brent. And I want to be part of the pilot program at EXP. Okay. So for those of you that say, hey, this is a no-brainer, $500. And I mean, it is ridiculous. I almost don't want to talk about it anymore. So here's our special offer. Now, I did create a downgrade. If some of you say, I don't want to do the pilot program and I just want the Kickstarter program with the online version and some of those technology tools for a month, you can get it for $49.95. But that's the bonus that we're throwing in. And what we're really focused on with Brent is those that are going to do the coaching session with us. It's not 4 weeks, it's 4 sessions. We're going to spread it out over January, February, heading into March. We will get you the exact schedule once you sign up, and here's where you sign up. So if we could get the link posted in the chat box, here's where you're going to get access to this special offer. You can't get it on our regular website. There's a private link that we set up for Brent and the group, exp.codebreakertech.com. And this is where you're going to get access to the entire pilot program. Everything that I talked about today, you get for the $499.95.
So,
Again,
hey,
it's a ridiculous
one thing,
price.
Sherry, I want to say one thing.
So, yeah.
and jump in. So I put the pressure on Sherry. I go, if you take my pilot group, and I could see they are selling more homes, they are making more money for their families. They're like going, this is great. And you're going to interview them saying, I'm going to make $1 million this year or whatever it is. You know, they're like that woman we heard from, if they can do that. So I have some pressure on her to succeed with you guys. So she doesn't know I'm going to do this, but for everybody watching, there's 22 people watching on the Zoom right now. I actually videotaped the entire Zoom list. And for every single one of you in this room, I'm going to pay for half, which means if you sign up today, I'm going to Venmo you, Cash App you, Zap you, Pigeon Wire you money tomorrow, $250. I'm not going to do it next week, next month. If you sign up today, and you did you know I was going to do that?
I had no idea, but what I'm finding, you started off by giving $5,000 to your guy with his baby. Like, you know, Brent's bank code, for those of you that haven't guessed, all right, just see if you can make a guess. He's action first, nurturing second, and that's that heart coming out all over you. You're like, look, we're going to crush the competition and we're going to do it together. Okay. Knowledge third and blueprint last. Brent, I got to tell you, I'm so happy to be friends with you. You are very generous, and thank you.
Yeah. So everybody in the room, if you sign up tonight, I'm going to just shoot me a text. I'll send you $250 tomorrow. However you like to get money, Cash App, Venmo. My wife's going to kill me. She doesn't know this, but hey, it's okay. It's Christmas. So,
it's Christmas.
But I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And remember, she wants to speak in Cabo at Mexico and have the stage for, 45 minutes to an hour. And she has to succeed with you guys. So if you're interested, do it. And, so it's pretty cool. I've got to go. Sherry, I'll let you wrap up. John, love you. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next year. Sherry, how much more time do you need to wrap this up? Just so we all know.
Well, if I'm happy to answer questions, or if you guys need help on our website or anything like that, do you want me to stay on for a few more minutes?
Let's do 5 minutes of Q&A, just 5 minutes. John, watch the clock because people do have places to go.
Yeah.
5 minutes Q&A, make short questions. Short answers. Got to go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Love you guys.
Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Brent. Everybody, big round of applause.
Awesome. So if you guys have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. We're going to do a special orientation call for your group to give you just an orientation of our tools and our technology, how to help everything get set up before we do the January 13th kickoff. We will record that so that you know what the heck's going on, how to set up your bank pass so you can crack some codes. This is a fun time to do it over the holidays too, when you have all your relatives and stuff coming in. It doesn't have to be just for customers and clients. What questions do you have? You can either come out off mute, or you can type it in the chat box, and I'll stay on here for a few minutes. Let me pull up the website too, just so that you guys know what it looks like. Heading over to it.
You just click log on the page of instruction.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Sherry, we have people trying to log on and sign up, and it says the page is under construction. Is that the best link to use?
Well, let me give it to you. It's exp.codebreakertech.com, and I'm on it right now. So it's not under construction. It's right here. Just make sure you go to exp.codebreakertech.com. And it will take you to this page. You're going to choose the system. The program that we're doing with Brent is the Codebreaker Accelerator right here for $499.95. Okay.
Not working.
I'm trying.
Sherry, I got a question for you. My name is
Yeah.
Johnny, by the way.
Yeah.
There are some people in the room, or some people will be watching or are watching this, and they have, Chrissy says she was able to sign up, so that's awesome.
Okay, perfect.
But they have they're like mini Brents, where they have teams of people. Should
Yes.
they buy individual slots for their team
Yes.
members?
This
Okay.
is per person. That's why we did that special price. And so what Brent is hoping is that not only you guys as the leaders sign up, but that you get all of your teams invited. I don't know if he's going to pay half of their program, so don't promise that. I think he captured the people that were here live today.
100%.
But share it with your teams. Tell them that you've got them a 50% off coupon, which already is implemented. This is normally $1,000. You can see on this link, we dropped the price automatically built in. Okay, so you guys can get people the replay of this. You can send them straight to the link. You're going to have people who say, I don't even have time to watch the replay. Just sign me up and then I'll catch up. What did you just sell me? Click the red button here that says start now under the $499.95.
Mhm.
That's going to take you to the shopping cart, which I'll show you right here. But you definitely want as many of your team members as possible. I'll tell you guys what I did when I trained my team on bank. It was the end of January back in 2006. 200 people showed up for 2 days of bank training back when I did it live. And my income went from $8,000 of commission to $261,000 in 28 days. Because I also had a financial model where I made overrides on all of their production and everyone was making more money. So when you guys go to this page, you just fill out your basic information. It's already $499.95. It comes with our 1 month trial of our technology. And then it's $99 a month thereafter. So 30 days from now, you're going to see that $99 subscription. While I have you, let me just show you real quick how the Chrome extension works. I'm on LinkedIn. This is my business partner, Esther, and my wife. We're married. And here's the button right here that I've installed. We will teach you how to do this. You'll install the Codebreaker Chrome extension onto your Chrome browser, pull up a LinkedIn profile, whether it's someone that you want to get the listing from, their spouse, the other agent, the person you're trying to recruit. Pull up their profile, click the button, and the AI is going to read their profile and generate their bank code just like that right here under their profile. And then we're going to click the Codebreaker AI, and this is going to show you guys exactly how to engage the person, okay? So here I'll show you, it pulls the profile, shows Esther's bank code. It has a quick video, it reveals her values. It'll give you the top sales tips when you're trying to engage with her. It'll help you understand her behaviors so that you know what to expect before you even have the call or send the message. The triggers that move her to a yes, the tripwires that will probably create a no, and the communication formulas so that everything you want to say in spoken or written form can be morphed to her listening. All of this is built in right to the Chrome extension. And we're going to give an orientation to you guys on how to do all of that. So
Awesome. No, that answers my question. And just so you know, I'm taking a page out of Brent's book, and I'm paying for any of my team members to join as well. So,
well, you guys look, this is this is like Christmas vacation. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
He's paying.
I'm paying for mine as well. Whatever, if they're not here, then I have to pay the full. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It pays to show up to training events. So congratulations for those of you that are here. And again, the bonuses are something that we're doing for those of you that sign up today. It's about $2,500 in bonuses that you're going to get from our side, plus whatever match program you're getting from your leaders and mentors here. So look, at the end of the day, this changed my entire life. And not only does it change your financial life, it'll change your personal life. I've had people take our program and say, this saved my marriage. You know, I've had people take it and say, this made me a way better parent. I've had people take it and say, this just prevented a suicide in our family. I mean, crazy things, because when you start to understand the code of people, the code of humanity, you can talk and engage with them differently. And that's why this bank program is going viral. I want to tell you guys my secret wish is to help EXP become the #1 dominant company on the planet. I'll tell you that for a while, I tried to get into Keller Williams, and I had several agents using it. on the lowdown because they were supposed to be using the disc and this was just way better, way faster, etc. But you know, you guys, many of you came from Keller Williams, and I told Brent, I said, let's give Keller a run for their money. Let's have EXP be the company that adopts bank and shoots you guys to the moon. And I would love to be able to help you and work with you. So I'm looking forward to the success stories that come from this group.
Hey, Sherry, this is Joanna Johnson. I'm at home. I have a quick question.
Hi, yes.
Hi, loving the program. The AI for LinkedIn.
Yes.
Since our subscription is basically starting now, will there be directions on how to use that?
Yes. Everybody who signs up now, we're going to invite you to an orientation and you can attend live or watch the playback. And it's going to teach you how to set these tools up so you can already be using them heading up to the 13th of January.
Do you know when that will be? Orientation?
Yeah, actually, Dahlia is on here who helps us run our orientation calls because we're heading into Christmas. Dahlia, are you able to do a call next week, Tuesday instead of Thursday for this group?
Yeah, I can do that.
What day is Thursday? Are you guys doing, no, this is the last call of the year with Brent.
Yeah.
So we'll do a call next Tuesday. So we're not so close to Christmas that you won't want to attend. And we'll record it and send it out to each of you. And that call is going to walk you through how to log in, how to sign up for your bank pass so that you can crack codes and have people. You can shoot it by text message and say, hey, crack your code, go to this link. I'll send you a free report. You can already start doing that. If I were you and I had a team, I would already start sending my link out to my entire team and asking them to crack their code because you're going to capture it. And I'll show you real quick what that looks like. Let me share my screen.
Hey, Sherry, any chance we could do that tomorrow instead? Because we're all some of us are taking off for vacation.
Dahlia, are you available tomorrow to do it?
Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, I can do that.
Is that good for
Okay.
everybody?
What time works for you, Dahlia, tomorrow? And we'll make it tomorrow. Way to ask, Joanna.
Thank you.
I could be flexible. What time might work?
Johnny, take it from there. Get the group going.
Johnny, take it. Okay, now the pressure's on me. I'm just going to give you my calendar, so y'all get to look at my calendar.
Yeah.
And,
Why not?
1 o'clock.
What time?
What?
Can we
1
do
o'clock.
Can we do 1 o'clock?
What time zone?
We're in Pacific.
Tuesday.
Are you able to do that, Dahlia? 1 p.m. Pacific?
Yeah.
Or could we do it at 8 a.m.? Just kick it off and get it going?
8 a.m. would be good.
I love it. And there's a recording, right? So anybody that can't catch it gets to watch the recording.
Yeah.
8 a.m. is good.
8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Be there or be square. Thank you for being flexible, Sherry and Dahlia.
Dahlia, could you make that happen?
Thank you, Johnny.
Where do you go?
I couldn't hear you, Dahlia.
8
Is
a.m.
that-
8 a.m. Pacific. So
Yeah.
8 o'clock my time. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. So we'll do an orientation call tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific for all of you guys. We'll record it, shoot you guys the link if you missed it. And again, it's going to show you how to use the bank pass, how to install the Codebreaker AI, how to log into the bank vault if you want to use the holiday time to start siphoning in some of our digital courses. Grant Cardone uses the Lightspeed VT platform. So do we. So we sit on the same platform, but we have all of our own private courses inside the bank vault. You'll see courses specific on bank and several courses about bank inside of there. You'll also see courses on sales and networking and all kinds of stuff designed to give you better tips and tricks with building your business. So
Awesome. And so everybody that signs up, they're going to get the link to the orientation tomorrow or the unbound.
correct. Yeah, we'll send that out today.
Awesome. Sherry, this was absolutely incredible. Wasn't this great, guys?
Thanks, Sherry.
Everybody give a round of applause.
Yay. You guys are amazing. Awesome. I look forward to meeting you in Mexico and we'll see you guys live on the pilot program. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right. See you then.
Merry Christmas.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Merry Christmas all.
Merry
Hey, real
Christmas,
quick, this is the
everyone.
last team meeting. We said it a couple of times. This is the last team meeting for the year. So if you show up next Thursday, you'll be hanging out by yourself. Please do your National Association of Realtors ethics training. Like if you do it, just hop on nar.org and figure it out if you haven't already. And thank you for the donuts. Can you stand up, tell us your name real quick?
I'm Mike Narver. I'm with the Academy Mortgage.
All right, Mike. Everybody, thank you, Mike. All right, have a great time, everybody. See you
Bye, everyone.
next
Happy holidays.
year. Bye, Sherry.